Good morning, everyone. Today's my topic is about sudden infant death syndrome. I know it's like sounds so scary, but it's something actually people should hear about it actually. So I've been the reason why I chose this topic is because I'm a nurse and I've been studying um, so many things, and then when I studied, like there are so many diseases, so many types of diseases. It is actually not a disease. This is actually something that is like really like blow my mind actually, because I didn't know back in my country. I learned actually after I came here. I'm going to talk about what is sudden infant death syndrome is, and what are the risks and signs and symptoms, and some statistics. So then conclusion. So let's start with what is sudden infant death syndrome is. So sudden infant death syndrome is it's a sudden and unexpected death of a healthy baby. Usually the babies are very healthy, and scientists don't know what exactly the cause of the baby's death, and usually it affects babies under 1 year old. So from the birth to the 12 months, babies usually affects majority, because the reason why they're affecting is because their development of milestone, because especially like under 6 months of babies, because they cannot lift their head and they cannot lift their body, and their muscles are like they don't develop enough muscles also, so that's why they're affecting so much, and especially boys affecting more than the babies, more than the men, females. So let's see what are the risks for sudden infant death syndrome. So it seeds. So the number one risk is the way people put the baby sleeping. So usually in Asian country, in my country, babies sleep with their parents, and then like babies usually people just put it on their stomach because they are afraid to put it. If they put it, usually if you sleep flat then that's hard to breathe, right? So we don't even in hospital we don't put any patient majority of the time like flat. It's always the head is lifted a little bit or whatever according to their health issues, right? But it's very rare if you see a patient sleeping on their flat, like on their back. But it's actually better for the babies because they don't, as I said, they can, if you put on their stomach, they cannot lift their head and they cannot turn their bodies, so that's why they get suffocated, and then so it's a very risky factor. And another one is there is a rule, so babies should sleep separately than their parents, and there is a rule that nothing goes in the crib except the baby. So crib is the baby's bed, and there is nothing goes in the crib except the baby. No blankets, no pillow, no toys, and no like cushions around it. Nothing. It's just a baby and mattress. And another risk factor is the temperature of the room. So if you heat is worse than cold, so that's why do not put blanket on the baby, because it's better to put your baby without the blanket than with blanket, because when you get hot, you cannot breathe so much, right? It's so hard to breathe. So even like us to get out, we will just walk or open the door like that, right? So it's like same thing as the baby. If you put blanket on them, because they cannot move it. We can move the blanket if you get hot, right? But babies cannot, and you are sleeping. So parents are sleeping, especially like new parents. So it's very good to actually know about this kind of things. And then also smoking. I hardly see people smoking over here, but actually in my country people smoke a lot. Even like now, like females smoking like a lot, like especially young teenagers, like adolescents, right? So we don't. So do not smoke next to the baby. Why? Because we also know that smoking, if you're around somebody who's smoking, you will affect more than the someone who's smoking actually. So that's the same thing as like the baby will affect more than the mother, and the baby cannot talk and tell cannot express themselves. So what they're gonna do? They cannot do anything unless until and then their organs are not developed yet, and they're their lungs are not fully extended yet, and then you are putting like smoke in their babies. They're breathing that air, so it just shut down their lungs. So there is no function in the lungs. So that's also one of the reasons. It's not only, oh, if you are pregnant you shouldn't smoke. No, if even after birth you shouldn't smoke at all. Yeah. So that's also another one of the risk factors for sudden infant death. And how do you prevent from this? So choosing so one of the, so as I said, there is nothing goes in the crib, and also in choosing the mattress, don't choose a soft mattress, because if you put your baby on a soft mattress, imagine you are, even like we don't like to, I'm not sure, some people like to sleep on a soft mattress, but after you get up from, in the morning, how do you feel? You feel so tired. Why? Because your muscles are so relaxed on a too soft mattress, right? So it's too relaxed, and then you feel weak, you feel like so tired. So that's why the same thing happens to the baby. The baby's muscle is not developed yet, and then also you are putting on a soft thing, it's getting worse for the baby. And also if the baby suddenly turns the head like in the night, and then they cannot, the soft mattress, it goes down, right? Your body goes down, right? So if the baby turns the head and then the mattress goes down, if they blocks their nose or the mouth, they cannot breathe enough. So that's just another risk. So that's why choose a firm mattress, not too hard, but they're not really soft, like firm mattress. And yeah, so that's one of the things. And if you want to sleep with your baby, it's better to don't put your baby in between the parents. If we say the parents usually put their baby in between because they're afraid the baby probably fell down from the bed, and that's actually worse. Imagine you are sleeping in a block, and I cannot sleep, right? Even I cannot it's so like. You can go crazy, right? It's the same thing. Like imagine your parents are blocking you and your air, and then it's worse. So it's better actually put your baby, like if you don't have like anything. So there are so many kind of people cannot afford like a crib, or they really wanted to sleep their baby, or the situation is like that. Then just put it on the one side, the baby, and then other side better you put some blockage instead of the human being. It's better to just block it on the other side. They leave it like not so hard, tall, so yeah. So that's actually better to put the baby in the worst situation. But it's best if you put it in a separate bed or separate cribs or yeah. So at least until 1 year. So this is actually very interesting. So since 1992, like even before that, actually, which countries are affecting a lot? It's actually Asian countries like China, India, like a lot of Asian countries, especially and including actually Middle East countries as well. The rate was going a lot. Like they don't know why the baby just suddenly, so healthy baby, and then just suddenly died. It's so scary, and they don't know the reason. So but then overall. But then now it's actually getting worse actually in the US and in Canada and in England. Because so just now through the statistics, they just about 3,500 babies usually dies in the US every year, and that's a lot actually. And there are like three factors that actually usually the babies are under 1 year affecting, and then so one of them is like sudden infant death, and then the unknown cause, and then accidental suffocations, and then among three, which one is the highest? The sudden infant death is the highest. So because of the lack of knowledge, because maybe parents, they don't know how to take care of the baby, and because they don't know what is killing them, what is not saving them or good for them. So that's why, and people don't really ask this kind of thing from healthcare workers, because they think like it's it's okay, I'll take care of my baby, or they have their own thoughts, like, right? It's actually better if you get any parents, or so it's actually best if you ask from the healthcare worker, okay, how I'm gonna take care of the babies, and so you can just actually prevent from it. Yeah, so actually there is not really symptoms. As I said, you don't know what's the cause really, but these are the things that you can eliminate from the babies. And so then after these things, this is actually mostly like really related to the so if somebody's baby is just suddenly died, it's actually very, very like emotional, right? Very, very mentally. It's like, so if in case if you know somebody's babies died because of sudden infant death syndrome, so you can support them emotionally, and so because they usually blame themselves because they couldn't take care of themselves, like their reasons. It's not about it, it's just because of the lack of knowledge. It's also healthcare workers actually should involve more, but in my country, I don't know what your country, in my country, don't really involve actually so much. That's also another reason why babies are dying like so much, like under 1 year. Yeah, so far we talked about what sudden infant death is and what are the risk factors and how are you prevent from it, and and we also learned which country is affecting more now than before. So thank you so much for your attention.